everybody, to the most listened to radio program on earth, Darryl Radio Experience. I want to say a special happy birthday to a nephew of mine, Bryan, who is the nephew that eventually I'm going to beat the hell out of. I'm just saying that because I don't exactly know how it's going to happen. I have not completely plotted it out yet, but eventually I am. This is the nephew that is responsible for my injury. Now, if you are new to the show, you don't know this, but last year, this particular nephew dragged me kicking and screaming into a race, even though he was 15 years old at the time. And the race did not end well. The race didn't just end with my losing, but it ended up with me lying in the middle of the street with a cut in my knee that was slit open to the bone. The bone. My knee guts were hanging out all over the concrete. I had skin and flesh all over the curb. I was rushed to the emergency room. My own mother had to come outside and check on me because I was at her old person's home when this took place. You know, let me ask a question here. I please forgive me. I didn't think about this as I went on air. I didn't think about this before I actually started saying it.
Good afternoon, law office. How can I help you?
Hi, I wanted to find out, I just wanted to ask someone a question about possibly a lawsuit that might need to be incurred because of an injury that I had.
Okay.
Would I ask you?
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I've never done this before, and I'm feeling a little bit funny because of the person. But I was at my mom's house, and there was a problem with the grass. It was like wet with some sort of a spillage in an area, and we didn't know. So we were out playing, and I was running, and I fell, and I literally fell so hard that my knee was ripped wide open, and I had to go to the hospital, and I have the reports from that. But I'm wondering whether or not, being that it is my mom and it was her property, whether or not that would exclude my ability to file a lawsuit against her.
If it's her property, it's going to be sued against her and her homeowner's insurance.
That's what I'm saying. So the mere fact that she's my mother doesn't mean I can't sue her.
You can't what?
I didn't know what the laws were. I'm saying even though it's my own mom, I still can file a lawsuit against her.
Is that what you want to do?
That's what I want to do, yes.
Hold on.
Sure. She seems slightly perturbed. I think that what she thought was going to happen was when she said that, it's your mom and you can file a suit, that I was going to hang up, not realizing that she's talking to Sir Darryl, a person who is out to get money regardless. And, it can be my mother or it can be anybody's mother. The fact that she's my mother does not preclude me from filing a lawsuit against her. And I just thought about this. And maybe I could include the nephew that caused me to have this problem in the lawsuit. And theoretically, I could get...
What is your name?
Hi, my name is Darryl Roberts.
What is it? I'm sorry? Darryl Roberts?
Yeah.
Okay, you said you were on your mom's premises and you were running in the front lawn and you fell and you busted your knee open. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was cut wide open. And also, my nephew was involved in this as well. If I could possibly get him in the lawsuit, I would appreciate it because he's the one that kind of taunted me into the race that caused the problem.
So he caused you to start running in front of the lawn.
Absolutely.
Until you fell and you cut your knee open?
I slit it wide open, and he's thoroughly responsible for that.
Okay, hold on.
Sure. Let's see what happens. We'll find out what happens, people.
So my transfer with the attorney, his name is Manny Lorenzano, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're about to speak with an attorney, and he'll tell me whether or not I've got a case. Hello?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
Hi, my name's Darryl. How are you?
Hi, Darryl. This is Manny Lorenzano. I'm one of the attorneys here at the firm.
Hi.
How is it I can help you?
Well, I just wanted to find out whether or not I actually even had a case. My sister found your number and told me that I should at least call. I was at my mom's home a couple of weeks ago, and it was an event outside, and there was like an oil or some sort of a slick in the grass. and I was running through it. The rest of the it wasn't raining or anything like that, so the rest of the grass wasn't wet. But when my foot hit where the slick part was, I fell. But when I fell, I was right next to concrete. I was right next to, right where the curb is, and I fell, and my whole knee literally went over that curve. I ended up on the street, but my knee went over the curve and slit open all the way down to the bone on the curb. And, I didn't think about it until my sister started to kind of put this in my head, but she was saying that at first I'm thinking, it's my mother. I'm not going to really want to do anything about this, but I'm thinking, the more I think about it, I don't know whether or not I could exclude her from this because I feel that she was responsible. Also, I had a 15-year-old nephew who was taunting me into the race, and I think that he's equally as responsible. But he's only 15, so I might have to sue his mother. I don't know how any of this works, and which is why I'm giving a call.
Okay. There's definitely nothing to do to go after the kid or the kid's parent. So there's nothing there. It would be the owner of the property.
Okay.
What did they do to your knee?
They had to stitch it up. I got several stitches. And they had
Any
to
surgery?
Besides the stitching, no. I mean, they had to shoot some injection in there in order to numb it. But then they did the stitches, but no surgery.
Okay. Let me talk with the other attorney then, and have to get back to you because the person to go after would be your mom's. Is your mom the owner of the house?
Yeah.
It would be after her insurance company, not her personally.
Oh.
But
well, my mother
yes.
personally though has a lot of money. So you're saying that I can't go after any of that?
First, you would have to go through the insurance.
Okay.
And if there's not enough insurance, or if there's no insurance at all, then you go after the person individually.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, the way it works, the person has a duty to warn you of anything that's on the property that could be a hazard to you.
And she didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So let me run this by the other attorney.
Okay.
And get back to you maybe in an hour or two.
Okay, that's fine. I would really appreciate that because I don't know. I mean, the more I start to think about it, the more I'm getting a little bit upset, and I just really think that she needs to pay for this whole thing. And I'm sorry that I can't sue the nephew as well because he started it, but at least, it was on our property. So I think that somebody's got to pay for this. So I'd really appreciate it.
Okay. We will get back to you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, see, now I'm a little bit upset because if I'm going to sue somebody, I don't want to just sue my mother. I also want to sue this kid that caused me to slit my knee open. Now, the whole point of this whole thing was to say that it's his birthday, so happy birthday to you, but it's ridiculous. Now I'm all pissed off.
The Sir Darryl Radio